Hi, and welcome back to the second episode of The Breakdown with Bethany. Today, my guest is Maria Berglund, the founder of In-Kind Boxes. I met Maria on Clubhouse, and I was instantly drawn to her message and her sweet, sweet personality, and of course, her mission. So Maria founded In-Kind Boxes as a way to help support mothers on their postpartum journey. The box is filled with amazing products from Dr. Brown's, Earth Mama, and their own special swaddle blanket. These are incredible products, and for every box purchased, a box gets donated to a mother in need. Maria was inspired to found In-Kind based on her own experiences being raised by a single mother. So I really think you'll enjoy this interview, and I hope you'll be inspired to donate. So be sure to check out this interview and then head over to In-Kind to donate and purchase a box. My name is Bethany Braun-Silva, and I am joined by Maria Berglund of In-Kind. Maria and I were sort of just introduced to each other through Clubhouse, actually, and I was immediately drawn to her story, her warmth, and really just her inspiring mission of helping moms postpartum and on their pregnancy journey. So Maria, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are, and then, of course, In-Kind.
So I am Maria. I'm the mom of 3 boys, and I was born and raised in Canada, and we moved to the US in 2013. And I started In-Kind in the spring of 2019. So we're a 501c3 nonprofit, and we're a volunteer-run organization. And the mission of what we do is to donate gift boxes full of natural and organic essentials to support moms in need in their postpartum journey.
Amazing. And can you tell us a little bit about how you got started? I know you did talk a little, you mentioned on the In-Kind website that you were raised by a single mom and you guys struggled a little bit. So I think, a lot of us, that's sort of why with this parenting, when we make our career also to help moms and on this parenting journey, I know for me especially, it was sort of born out of something that we experienced ourselves. So I would love to know, and I'm sure people would love to know, just, why you started the company, what inspired you?
Yeah. So what you said was right. My mom, she left a very hard situation with essentially nothing but my sister and I. And she really needed a lot of help from the community from food banks and different things. So she relied on them to provide diapers and formula and wipes and food and all kinds of things. And so I understand that paying it forward and that kindness that people provide is so important. There are people out there who really truly need it, and it makes such an impact when you can offer something as simple as a box of diapers. And then when I was pregnant and had my sons, especially my first one, postpartum was a really hard time for me. I felt very lonely. Even though I had people around me to support me, I felt very lonely. And I just really needed to know that I wasn't alone. And I think that's kind of part of also the mission behind what we're doing. I'm constantly repeating that in what we're doing, that you're not alone and we're here for you, and that it's okay to ask for help if you need it, or even if you don't feel comfortable asking, that it's okay to accept help if it's offered to you. I think that's also really hard. There's this whole concept of the super mom who has to do everything all by herself, and you're not amazing if someone wants to cook you dinner or something like that. You have to say oh no, thank you, I'm okay. And I just it makes me so sad, because I was totally that mom who would just push away all the help because I was so afraid that people wouldn't think that I was capable enough. And so now I just feel I will talk about it until I'm blue in the face. Please, 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 let people help you. Because another thing is that can be, some people, that's their love language. That's how they express how much they care for you, is by doing acts of kindness for you, or gift giving. And so, you're by you like allowing that in, it makes them feel good too. It's not just for you.
Yeah, I'm learning that myself. And, something you said really resonated with me. Almost every time I'm interviewed or I'm on a podcast, I talk about how I was an only child and I wanted to have kids because I thought I would never be lonely again. I'd always be occupied with these little beings and it would be just always just busy and fun. And motherhood was, yes, one of the most isolating and lonely times of my life, and it was unexpected. So I love that you're, championing that and talking about that, because I think a lot of moms, we know that you're going to be tired. We know that you might have some, emotional ups and downs, mental ups and downs, but I think the loneliness is not something you're really prepared for. So I really, really, really love that. Now I want to talk a bit about the business side of In Kind. How do you mentioned they're natural and organic products, and how do you pick the products that go into these boxes? And then I would love to know, I know there's a buy one sort of give one aspect. So tell us a little bit about that too.
Okay, so the way that we decided on the products was the one, we wanted it to be quality items. Like I wanted to be proud to give it as a gift, like, or if I was to receive it, it would be something that I would use myself. I love natural and organic products, just because they're free from fragrances and all those like nasty things that we're not supposed to have on our skin when you're pregnant or beyond. And then for baby too. And Earth Mama is a local to Oregon company. So that also was really cool that we could partner with them for that. And then also we wanted the products to be useful things, because I know that like, some people think of like, oh, like a baby gift box. And then, it's like this subscription service and it's filled with like some pretty random things sometimes. And so I was very intentional about having it being things that I either use or would use, and just that it was a quality item.
Yeah, that's sort of what I do with my full-time job. I'm constantly like vetting and trying products to, tell my audience of readers that what to expect, all about that. So I love that you're really taking the time and, the researching these products. I think that's really, really important. And so you are an entrepreneur. And I think that's something a lot of moms, like, they're either trying to get on that journey or they're toying with the idea. They have this really cool idea and they're not sure how to get it off the ground. And I know yours is obviously based in giving back and, charitable efforts, but do you have advice for moms who are kind of toying with the idea of starting their own business?
Right. I would say just get out of your own way. If you really want to do it, like if it feels like something that you just can't get out of your head, or that like it just like fires you up inside, that was what happened for me.
So cute. No, we're gonna leave.
That's Dylan.
Dylan, he's so cute. Oh my God.
But just if you have this idea, but like, I know for me, I suffered really badly from imposter syndrome and just being like, what's so special about what I am doing? It's just a gift box for like, who am I to have these like influencers share about our mission and things like that. But like, none of the influencer marketing that we've done has been paid. Like, people want to share because they care about what we're doing. And like the followers that we have on social, those are because of our mission. Like, if you are so passionate and you are sharing something that is really special, people will see that and they will get behind you. And I think it's like thinking outside of who is in your, like, I hope that your friends and family support you and what you want to do, but sometimes they just don't quite understand what it is that you want to do. And like, because you have been thinking about it and you have been like formulating these things. And so just try and believe in yourself and keep pushing forward. And the people who do really understand and encourage you, just like bounce your ideas off of those people and just keep those people around you and just keep building on your growth and move forward, even if it's just tiny baby steps, because we all have to start at zero. And that's like really hard when you have to believe in yourself the most because not many people know about you. It's really tough.
You know, we're sort of in this clubhouse world of like these women and working moms, and you've really, I know that you've impacted and touched a lot of these like women, these professional moms in media, and I think the story is just so good. So I think I absolutely agree with you. You have to kind of like believe in yourself. But if your mission and what you want to do is almost bigger than yourself, then you kind of owe it to everybody else to like keep pushing forward with your idea. So I really needed to hear that, to be honest.
Good. Great. Yeah. Because I am like a very introverted person. Like I like talking to people and stuff, but also I'm just like, yeah, I'm very introverted. And so being on like video interviews or being on Clubhouse or different things like that's really like pushing my boundaries of what it's good. It's good for me to grow and like get more confident in this stuff. But that wasn't what I was thinking was going to happen when I started this. I was just like, I'm just going to help these moms and that will feel good. And I didn't really think about like having to be the face of the company and all the stuff that comes along with it. And I'm really grateful for the opportunities that we're getting for that. But it's definitely something that like, if you're a person who is not used to it, it does take some getting used to. But what you're saying, like my mission outweighs my fear, and that's what's pushing me forward.
And do you feel like it's getting easier, or is it still challenging for you to kind of like show up on video and stuff like that?
It's getting easier for like me when I'm just like, it's just me and my phone and I'm making like a reel or like doing stories and stuff. That feels easy because it's just me. But like sometimes for different things, like last month I did the live like morning news, and I was like, I felt like a lot of pressure, and I had like lavender oil and like all these things to calm myself down. And I mean, it was fine, but just I'm getting more comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like I'm getting used to like how to handle myself and like manage anxiety and different things like that. So it is getting better.
Yeah, I mean, that's so real. But I did want to shift gears a little bit, if you don't mind. You did mention you had, I think when we had talked previously, you mentioned that you gave birth to your first, and forgive if it's the first two sons in Canada or just the first son.
Just the first one, yeah.
The first son in Canada, and then the other two boys here in the US. And you mentioned there were some like striking differences in between. Would you mind telling us about that? Because I think, you know, especially people who might be tuning in and watching us, like our audience, I think they'd be really interested to know what the differences are between, you know, the birthing experience in Canada versus the US.
Right. So in Canada, healthcare is free, first of all. And so there's that's a big difference, I feel like. So I had like a regular doctor, and she was lovely. Everything was kind of just, I mean, I don't know if it was just her specifically or the whole experience, but like I just loved going to my doctor's visits. I felt like very cared for and tended to, like I wasn't just like, you know, like a number and you're just fitting me into a time slot. But like my delivery with Wesley, it wasn't like your typical birth. It took from the time like I realized I was in labor to like the time he came out was 2.5 hours. And so it was quite like a very like movie experience. But what was really different about my postpartum experience was that you know, I had doctor's checkups, like with the doctor who delivered me, like immediately following my delivery, Wesley's delivery, and she checked up. So it wasn't just like I had this 6-week postpartum and that was it. I had checkups prior to that. And also, once you get home from the hospital, like a couple of days later, I can't remember the specific day, but it's about a week or less. I had a lactation consultant come to the house, and they call you and they like organize it, like when is a good time. So they come to your home and they have like, I was having trouble with latching and breastfeeding and things like that. So she really like spent quite a bit of time with me, like helping me figure that out. She helped me like with the size of a nipple shield and like all of these things. And I felt like really, really like cared for, that she was noticing me and it wasn't just about the baby. Versus when I had my other two, Charlie's delivery was like, I was in the hospital less than 24 hours. I had like no like medication or anything. We were in and out like that. And I wasn't treated super well when I was in the hospital with him. And, it was like different providers through the course of my pregnancy. And it just felt like so much more of like, I'm just a number and like not that fun of an experience, but just the care after the baby comes here versus Canada was very, very different. And I just wish, part of the reason why I started In Kind was to be a source of support for these moms. You're given this baby and like you get one visit 6 weeks after after the baby's born. And it's like, that's not that, there are so many things that can happen in that time period. And it's just like, if you need this, then call this number or something. But like, how are you supposed to know like what you specifically need help with unless kind of you're like, it was like very deep into a problem, like for lactation consulting or different things. It's really hard to see that. And especially to know that like we had decent healthcare, and I can't imagine what moms who don't have decent healthcare are going through.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the 6 week time is way too long. And again, like kind of like you said, like if you don't really know something's wrong or you don't know that something can be addressed early on, how can you fix it? So I totally agree with you on that. Are there any plans to expand In Kind, beyond product and, more initiatives or anything like that?
It's a good question. So the other night my husband and I were talking and I was like, I think it would be so cool to have like a physical location where families could come and they have like the mom gets care that she needs. So she could come and get a box from us. She could come and get like a checkup. We could have doctors, but then there would also be childcare. So you could go and have your baby checked in or your toddler. And then the mom knows like she can just have the focus on her and get the help that she needs. So it could be like, the doctor, but also maybe like a diaper bank could also be there or something like that, where it's like kind of like a full service place that moms could go and get help. So that's kind of like a huge dream that could happen, but I think that would be so cool, right?
I think that sounds incredible. And I'm happy to support you with that in any way that I can, because I had high risk pregnancies. So I'm a diabetic, but so I feel like I was cared for, as a woman rather than a woman giving birth. And, it was about me in certain aspects, but I think it's only because I had these pre-existing conditions. So it does make me kind of, sad in a way to think about that, but even still, I think my birthing experience could have been a lot better. What you said about, you never kind of know what doctor you might get. And I think that's kind of common practice here in the US. I've had girlfriends, go through, with their OBs for, the 40 weeks, and then it's time to deliver. And then it's like a person they've never seen come and deliver the baby, which is a little crazy. But so crazy. Yeah, that might be like a whole other conversation for another time.
Yeah.
But Maria, I wanted to talk a little bit about you as a mom, and this will wrap it up really quickly. You have 3 boys. Can you talk, because I have 2. I can't imagine throwing another one into the mix, although I kind of toyed with the idea during the pandemic. I was like, well, I'm home anyway. Maybe I'll 3 boys. Oh my goodness. Do they know about In Kind, and do they know what you do and all of that?
Yeah, so 3 boys is very busy, and they are the type of kids that have kind of like the maximum energy. They're not the calm ones. So like when we would have play groups and stuff, because I was heavily into Mom's Club when they were the older two were toddlers, just because of that need for connection for the moms to get together, because it's such a real thing, that like loneliness and that need of sense of connection and like sharing experiences and bouncing ideas off each other. So playgroups were so special for me in that toddler phase. But I always tried to get the boys to be in playgroups that had lots of girls, because their energy, generally speaking, I'm not saying all girls, but the girls who we knew had a calmer energy, which then my boys were much calmer. And so that was very wonderful. But yeah, the boys know. They were actually with me for our very first gift box delivery. We delivered the boxes to a local women's clinic. All together. So that was really special. And they just like will randomly yell things out to strangers, like, my mom has a nonprofit, or my mom has a website. And I'm like, just try and remember the name of the nonprofit. Right. That's like the biggest thing. But they're really cute and really supportive. And I feel like, they see what I'm doing, and then they try and emulate similar just being kind to others in their day-to-day life. Like there's a buddy bench at school, and if they see friends that are lonely, then they go and sit with them or things like that. And it just, when I hear them say things that they've done, or their teachers tell me nice things that they've been doing, it makes me feel really good, because as parents, we try so hard to like raise good little people who are kind, and like I see them just tear each other apart here. And so I want to know that like they're being kind in the world. And so it makes me feel good when I hear that they're getting good reviews and being kind people.
I think that's so important. I think I read something recently. It was like, if your kids are nuts at home and crazy like outside of the home, you're doing like the perfect job, because they feel comfortable enough at home to be themselves, but they also know kind of what's socially accepted outside. So I love that. My boys are lunatics at home, and they torture each other and all of that. What has been the most challenging part of getting In Kind off the ground? And then we'll wrap it up with the most rewarding thing that has the most reward. Okay, sorry, let me start that again. So what has been the most challenging part of getting In Kind off the ground in your entrepreneurial journey? And then I would also love to know the most rewarding part of it too.
Okay, so the most challenging part, I think, was getting people to understand the concept of what we were doing, and then getting people to get on board with selling us the products to put in the boxes. Because all of the funding that we get from sales and donations, that all goes towards purchasing the supplies that we fill our boxes with. So that was huge, because that was how we got our major donations and funding from the very start. So if you can buy the bulk products, then you can fill the boxes. And so that was kind of the biggest hurdle that I had. The most rewarding is when I get messages from moms who have received the donated boxes, and just how special it makes them feel and how loved they feel. It's super heartwarming. And I haven't personally like given a gift box to a mom in need, because we donate through other organizations. And I definitely feel like I would probably burst into tears if that happened. But those messages and those emails definitely make me teary-eyed. And that's what it's all about, just to be able to spread the love and kindness.
I love it. Maria, thank you so much. Please let everybody know where they can find you, or how they could purchase a box or even donate to In Kind.
Yeah, so our website is inkindboxes.org, and people can shop for a gift box, or they can make a donation that way. It's a tax-free donation. And then if you want to find us on social and see what we're up to, we're on Instagram is our kind of main account at In Kind Boxes, but we're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Amazing. And definitely follow along with Maria on Maria's IG, because the growth and like it's been really interesting to see. I absolutely love your videos. So it's been really a joy for me to kind of just like watch as you've been growing and getting the word out about In Kind. And I just knew that I wanted to be part of that. So really, thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to share.